Welcome back to another Joe Fitness at Home workout. Today we are doing 60-30 EMOMs. You have 60 seconds to get through the top part of the board and then 30 seconds to do the exercise on the bottom part of the board. You can repeat that for 5 rounds. You'll get a 1-minute rest and then we're gonna go through those patterns 2 more times. So we're gonna do 3 boards today of that 60-30 times 5 with the 1-minute rest in between. Finish here at the end and you got yourself a great workout. Let's take a look at that first board and talk about the exercises. First, you got those hip openers. Again, that's 1 foot forward, both hands are on the floor, your hands are in line with your front foot. Make sure your back knee is off the ground, the inside hand or the hand closest to your foot is going up in the air, doing a little mobility stretch. You're doing 3 on each side for those. And then you got hip lifts. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, using that dumbbell. Put that dumbbell right on your waist, pushing your hips off the ground. Make sure you squeeze the glutes when you're doing that. You got 7 of those. Then you have butterfly sit-ups. Soles of your feet together, knees are pushed out to the side, reach back, touch the floor, sit up, touch the floor in front of your feet. Then you have, you're doing 5 butterfly sit-ups. Then you got frog lifts for the rest of the time. Same thing as butterfly sit-ups. Soles of your feet together, knees are pushed out to the side, push your hips off the ground. The key with the frog lifts is keep your head off the ground when you're doing these. That helps keep your lower back flat and not rear arched. And sometimes people get a little back pain when they're doing the frog lift. So keep the head off the ground, keep your chin in your chest. Again, you got 60 seconds to get through those 4 exercises, and then you got 30 seconds to do 5 lunge presses on each leg. You're gonna hold a dumbbell with 2 hands, lunge down, touch your knee on the mat. This is a stationary lunge, so you're not stepping every time. So you're just straddling that mat, touch your knee on the mat, stand up and press up with both hands. You're gonna do 5 on each leg. Again, you got 30 seconds to do that. Rinse and repeat. You're gonna do the top part and the bottom part 5 times. Then you get a 1-minute rest, and we'll move on to the next board. Good? Got it? Let's get started. All right, starting on top part of the board, hip openers, 1 foot forward, both hands on the floor, inside hand goes up in the air. You're going 3 on each side for those. Should not take you too long to get through those. And then you got those hip lifts with that dumbbell. Put that dumbbell on your waist, push your hips off the ground. Again, make sure you squeeze in your glutes every time you're doing those hip lifts. You're doing 7 of those. And then you have those butterfly sit-ups. Soles of your feet together, knees are pushed out to the side, reach back, touch the floor, sit up, touch the floor in front of your feet. Doing 5 butterfly sit-ups. You have 20 seconds left, get through those butterfly sit-ups, and you're gonna do a frog lift. Soles of your feet together, again, knees pushed out to the side, push your hips off the ground, make sure you're squeezing your glutes. Doing that for the rest of the time. You have about 5 seconds left, keep going. Nice work. Now you're on the bottom part. Lunge to press. Grab that dumbbell, straddling that mat, touch your knee on the ground, stand up and press up 5 on each leg. For those, you're gonna do 5 and 5. You should have a little bit of rest time after you do those 5 lunges. That's by design, so you can catch your breath and so we can attack the next round. 5 seconds. Nice work, back to the top. You're doing those hip openers again. 1 foot forward, inside hand goes up in the air. 3 on each side. And then you got those hip lifts with that dumbbell. Knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Push your hips off the ground. Again, squeeze those glutes. You gotta make sure those glutes are activating every time you do these hip lifts. And then you have those butterfly sit-ups. 5 of those, feet together. Reach back, touch the floor. Do not forget to touch the floor in front of your feet when you're doing these. And then you got the frog lifts for the rest of the time. Soles of your feet together. Push your hips off the ground. 10 seconds. Nice work, bottom part of the board, lunge to press, straddling that mat, hold that dumbbell up in your chest, squat down or lunge down, touch your knee on the mat, stand up and press up. 5 on each side. Again, it should not take you the whole 30 seconds to do the exercise on the bottom. That's by design so that you have a little bit of a breath so you can start the next round. Good job. Speaking of next round, round 3, here we go. Hip openers, 1 foot forward. Inside hand goes up in the air. This is a mobility exercise. Again, it's just trying to stretch out that lower back, also stretches your hips out. 3 on each side, then get those hip lifts. Push your hips off the ground. That dumbbell should be on your waist. Again, squeeze those glutes when you're doing these. And then you have those butterfly sit-ups, 5 of those. Soles of your feet together. Reach back, touch the floor. Sit up, touch the floor in front of your feet, 5 of those. 20 seconds, get to those frog lifts. Ten seconds. Go all the way to the end. Nice work, lunge to press, dumbbell up in your chest, straddling that mat, touch that knee on the ground, stand up, press up. 5 on each leg. 15 seconds, finish off those lunges, and then we got 2 more rounds. We're almost there. And you get a 1-minute rest. Nice work, back to the top. Hip openers, 1 foot forward, inside hand goes up in the air, 3 on each side. You don't have to rush these too much because you're only doing 3 on each side. Should just be a nice mobility exercise. Get to those hip lifts. Again, pushing that dumbbell off the ground with your hips. Squeezing those glutes. 7 of those hip lifts. And then get to those butterfly sit-ups. Touch the floor behind your head. Sit up, touch the floor in front of your feet. You got 25 seconds. Get to those frog lifts. "15 seconds, doing good. Go all the way to the end, you're almost there. Nice work, lunge to press, straddling that mat, touch your knee on the ground, stand up and press up, 5 on each side. Ten seconds left, finish those lunges off, and then we got 1 more round to finish off set 1. Back to the top, nice work. Hip openers, 1 more time, inside hand goes up in the air, stretching that lower back out. Then get those hip lifts done 1 more time, pushing those hips off the ground, squeezing those glutes. Get those butterfly sit-ups done 1 more time. 5 of those. "20 seconds, keep going. "10 seconds, you're almost there. Finish off with those frog lifts. You got lunge to press 1 more time after this. Lunge to press, 5 on each side. Then you get a 1-minute rest. Straddling that mat, back knee down to the ground. Doing 5 on each side, and then you're resting. "10 seconds. Finish up if you haven't already. You're almost there. Go all the way to the end if you're not done yet. Nice work. You're resting. Get your breath, grab some water. Let's take a look at the next set. While you're resting, you gotta hang, clean, and press. You got 2 on each side. Again, hang, you're gonna start that dumbbell between your knees, clean it up to your shoulder, and then stand up and press up. You got 2 on each side. Then you got that one arm row. Again, you're gonna put that elbow on your knee, pulling straight back, doing 5 on each side for the one arm row. And then you got that Russian press up. You're sitting on your butt and leaning back halfway. You're gonna do a Russian press up, pressing that dumbbell off your chest. You're pressing it straight up towards the ceiling. You got 10 of those. And then you got a crunch with the dumbbell. You're gonna hold that dumbbell by the handle. You're gonna wrap your hands around that handle. Make sure you have a secure hold on that. Knees are bent, feet flat on the floor. Again, with the crunches, you're just trying to get your shoulders off the ground. Then you got that L-sit overhead press. Sitting with your legs straight out in front of you, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, pressing that weight straight above your head. Got it? Good? Let's get started. Hang, clean press. Start that dumbbell between your knees, up to your shoulder, press it up. Again, this is a power exercise, so you should be using your legs as much as you possible, launching that dumbbell off the ground, doing 2 on each side for those. When you get those hang clean presses, you got the one arm row, elbow on your knee, pulling that dumbbell straight back, keep that dumbbell tight to your side, doing 5 on each side for those. And then you should get to those Russian press-ups. Again, you're sitting on your back, leaning back halfway at or about a 45-degree angle, pressing that dumbbell with 2 hands off your chest, straight up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're not pressing it towards your knees. They should be a press straight up to the ceiling, doing 10 of those, and then you gotta crunch for the rest of the time. Again, wrap your hands around that handle, knees are bent, feet flat on the floor, get your shoulders off the ground. You do not have to sit all the way up for the crunches. All right, sit on your butt with your legs straight out in front of you, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, doing that overhead press, 15 of those. This was challenging. The L-sit overhead press, when we did this in the studio, people struggle with this one. This is a lot of shoulder work today, but I challenge you, get through those overhead presses. If you struggle, you start getting behind, do 5 of them, rest for a second, do 5 more, do whatever you have to get all 15 of those in. You got 30 seconds to do it. Back to the top, hang clean press. Start that dumbbell between your knees, launch it up to your shoulder, heave it off your shoulder, push it off. Make sure you're locking that elbow out every single time. No half-cocked elbows. 2 on each side for those hang clean press. One arm rows, you're doing 5 on each side. Put the elbow on your knee, pulling straight back, squeezing that back. And then you have those Russian press ups. You're gonna do 10 of those, sitting on your butt, leaning back halfway, pressing that weight off your chest, straight up towards the ceiling. 10 of those. And then back to those crunches for the rest of the time. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Again, do not sit up all the way with these. All you have to do is sit, get your shoulders off the ground. Just think of it like once your shoulder blades leave the ground, go right back down. Do not have to do a full sit up. L-sit overhead press, sitting on your butt, you're sitting straight up, sitting in the L position, pressing that weight off your chest, bring it down to your chest every time. Again, no half-cocked arms, lock those elbows out every single time. Doing 15 of those. Again, try to do whatever you can to get through all 15. If the weight's too heavy, grab a lighter weight. If it's not too heavy, if you want to tough it out, break up the reps, do whatever you have to get all 15. Back on your feet, hang clean press. 2 on each side. Make sure you're using your legs as much as possible when you're doing these hang clean presses. 2 on each side should not take you that long. Get those one arm rows done, 5 on each side. Again, keep that dumbbell tight to your side. Your elbow should be tight to your side. You shouldn't be flaring that elbow way out, away from your body. It should be right into your ribs. And then you got those Russian press-ups, leaning back halfway, sitting on your butt, leaning back halfway. Heels can be off the ground if you want to show off. If you don't, just keep those heels planted. Try to keep those toes pointed up towards the ceiling though when you're doing the Russian press-ups. 10 of those. And then again, crunches for the rest of the time. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hold that dumbbell in front of you, locked out, arms locked out, just trying to get that shoulders off the ground. 3 seconds. Nice. L-sit, overhead press, sitting on your butt, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Put your feet together. Your feet should be touching each other. Press that weight straight up. I know this is getting hard. Those shoulders are tired. Again, if you're struggling, do 5 of them, rest for a second. Do 5 more, rest for a second. You'd be surprised how much a little 1 or 2 second rest in between your reps can help you with these. Get all 15 of those. That was round 3, and now we're on round 4. 2 more, let's go. Hang clean press, 2 on each side. Again, use those legs as much as you can. We're blasting the shoulders today, so you want to use the rest of your body. When you can, launch that dumbbell up to your shoulder, heave it off that shoulder, lock that elbow out every single time. 2 on each side for those hang clean presses. 1 arm row, make sure you keep the elbow tight into your side. 5 on each side, and then you got those Russian press-ups after the 1 arm rows. Then get to those crunches. You got 15 seconds left. With the crunch, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Hold that dumbbell in front of you. Again, wrap your hands around that handle. Go all the way to the end. Nice work. L-sit, overhead press, sitting on your butt. Again, put those feet together, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Pressing that weight straight off your shoulders or off your chest. Locking those elbows out every single time. Ten seconds, you're almost there. We got 1 more round. Go all the way to the end if you haven't been. Good job, back to the top. 1 more time, hang clean press. Again, use those legs as much as you can. Launch that dumbbell up to your shoulder, heave it off your shoulder. Do 2 on each side. Then you got 5 one-arm rows on each side. "30 seconds, get to those Russian press-ups, sitting on your butt, leaning back halfway, press that weight straight up towards the ceiling. 20 seconds, get to those crunches. Try to do as many crunches as possible with the remainder of the time. 10 seconds. And we got those L-sit overhead presses 1 more time to wrap up round 5. All right, L-sit, overhead press, feet together, toes pointed up, pressing that weight straight off your shoulders or off your chest. Bring the weight down to your chest every single time. Do as much, try to get all 15 of those with the time left. You got 15 seconds, let's go. You're almost there, 10 seconds. 2, 1. Nice work. You're resting. Whew. I know those shoulders are sore. I know they're getting tired. They're gonna feel pretty sore tomorrow. Let's look at set 3. You got a kneeling overhead press. You're on your knees, your butt is off your heels. Make sure so your hips are extended when you're in that kneeling position. Yes, you got some more overhead pressing. It should be a little bit easier from this position, just pressing that weight again with 2 hands, 7 of those. Then you got a kneeling overhead tricep extension, again, holding that dumbbell, wrapping your hands around the handle, doing 7 of those. Then you got Russian twists with the dumbbell, sitting on your butt, leaning back halfway, twisting side to side, 10 of those. Then you got that boat pose. Boat pose is just like a Russian press up position. You're not holding a weight. So just leaning back halfway, put your arms by your knees, kind of sticking out, holding your arms there off the ground. Again, you're just leaning back halfway, holding a 45-degree angle. And then you got frog lifts, 10 of those, or frog hops, 10 of those for the bottom part of the board. Let's do it. Kneeling, overhead press. Kneeling position, pressing that weight off your chest, 7 of those. I know those arms are tired, but we're almost done. And then you got that kneeling overhead tricep extension, holding that dumbbell behind your head, pressing straight up, lock those elbows out every single time. You got 7 of those. And then you have Russian twists. Again, you're gonna use the dumbbell with those. Just hold the dumbbell on the sides, twisting side to side. It's up to you whether you If you want to put your heels on the ground or lift them off the ground, usually with weight, you want to have them planted on the ground, but if you want to show off, go ahead, lift those heels up, hold them off the ground for the little extra challenge. 10 seconds, get to that boat pose. Again, boat pose, and just sitting on your butt, leaning back halfway, heels off the ground, holding that position. Nice work, frog hops, hopping back and forth over the mat. Again, you're gonna hop forward, that's 1 rep, hop backwards, that's 2 reps. So forward is 1, back is 2. Just doing 10 of those. Should not take you 30 seconds, should take you only about 20, 15 seconds because you're gonna need those, you need to shake off those arms. 10 seconds. All right, round 1 done. Let's go round 2. Kneeling overhead press. Again, stay off your butt. Your butt should not be on your heels. Your hips should be extended, pressing that weight above your head. Lock those elbows out, no half-cocked arms. Again, I should not be seeing bent arms. Lock those arms out every single time on the overhead presses. Same thing with those overhead tricep extensions. Bring that dumbbell back. Do not hit yourself in the head or the neck, but fully extend above your head when you're doing those. 7 of those. And then you got those Russian twists. When you're doing the Russian twists, do not jam your hand onto the ground between your hand and the dumbbell, but try to touch your hand on the ground. Try to get that full range of motion for these Russian twists. When you get all 10 of those, you are in that boat pose position. Again, a boat pose, your heels are off the ground, your knees are bent, just leaning back in a 45-degree angle. Arms are off to the sides, off the ground. Then you got frog hops. Back and forth over the mat, hop forward, hop backwards, 10 of those. You got about 20 seconds. Again, should not take you the whole 30 seconds to do all the frog hops. Your legs should be fresh because we're just blasting your shoulders today. So frog hop should be no problem here. 5 seconds, and then we're starting round 3. All right, back to the top. Kneeling overhead press on your knees, pressing that weight above your head. Bring it back down to your chest. 7 of those. And then you get that kneeling overhead tricep extension. Again, lock those elbows out, okay? Full range of motion. Use every inch of the muscle that you have so that way you get stronger. That's how it works. 7 of those. And then you got those Russian twists, 10 of those, holding the dumbbell with 2 hands. Again, twisting side to side. Try to get the full range of motion. You can plant your heels on the ground if you want for the Russian twists. It's up to you. If you want to show off, go ahead, lift them off the ground. Just make sure you're twisting all the way to the side. And then you got that bow pose. Heels off the ground, knees bent, hands are out to the side, off the ground, leaning back at 45 degrees. And you're just holding that there. Nice work. Frog hops. Back and forth over the mat. We're so close to being done. We're almost there. We got 2 more rounds after this. Little easy finish here at the end, and then we are all done with this workout. So keep pushing through. You got 10 seconds left. Finish off those frog hops if you're not done already. We're almost there. All right, back to the top. Kneeling overhead press. Pressing that weight all the way up, 7 of those. Bring that dumbbell down to your chest every single time. Lock those elbows out on the top. And then you got those kneeling overhead tricep extensions. Again, lock those elbows out when you're doing those extensions. "30 seconds, you get Russian twists. 10 of those, finish those off. And then you got the boat pose for the rest of the time. Knees are bent, leaning back halfway, arms off to the side, off the ground. 3 seconds. Nice work. Frog hops. Back and forth over the mats. We're almost done. We got one more round after this. Get you 10 frog hops done. We'll have a finisher. 10 seconds. Finish up those frog hops, and then we're back to the top one more time. All right, kneeling overhead press. Last time you gotta do that. I know your shoulders are tired. Press that weight straight up in the ceiling. Lock those elbows out every single time. 7 of those. And then you got the kneeling overhead tricep extension, 7 of those. "30 seconds, get to those Russian twists. Twisting side to side. Then you got that boat pose for the rest of the 10 seconds here. Get there if you're not already. Nice work, frog hops, one more time. 10 of those, hopping side to side, or excuse me, hopping back, forward and back over the mat, touching the floor. Keep your chest up, butt down. Get those 10 frog hops. And then we got a finisher, and then we're all done. "7 seconds, let's go. Finish them if you're not already. Nice work. Catch your breath, grab some water. Here is your finisher. Your finisher is a high plank with a wall touch. You're in that high plank position again, just like a push-up position, and then you're gonna reach out, tap the wall in front of you. Make sure when you're doing these that you are arm's length away from the wall, okay, or whatever the object that you are reaching out to tap, okay? So you're in that high plank position, you reach out, tap that wall, and then you're gonna do 50 of those. You're gonna alternate sides, do 50 of those. Try to do all 50 without stopping. You can do it, I know you can. Try to do all 50 without resting. Try it, just try it, you can do it. When you're all done with that finisher, hey, good job. Give me a big thumbs up. Let me know how this workout went. We're trying a little different look, different format, so I appreciate the feedback. If you have any, let me know if you like it, if you hate it, if there's things we could do better. I always love hearing the feedback. When you are done, if you're gonna brag about your workout, which you should because you just rocked an awesome workout, those shoulders are gonna be like torn. So what you're gonna need to do is just snap a picture of your little workout space, post it on the socials using hashtag joefitnessathome. I love it, I appreciate it every time you guys do that. I love seeing that because it helps spread the good word of the Joe Fitness at home workouts. So, spread the love, that's what you do. Help other people find awesome workouts. Good job today, I'll see you next time.